if you haven't started university, it can sound quite daunting. There are a lot of routes you need to sort of know about, and you need to know sort of what follows on from each subject or each degree. I wonder, Elsa, if you could just talk about how you sort of break that down into steps. And I know you mentioned that you didn't really know that the combination of interests you had could form a career path for you, but are people there to help? Because I remember at school being a little bit daunted by the thought of going to university. I suddenly thought I was going to go from like a child to an adult and need to know everything. How did you find that transition from school to university, and what did you do about it?
I found it really difficult because I didn't really know what I wanted to study at university, and I ended up choosing A levels in subjects like sciences just because I knew that I was good at them. And I think that's quite common for people just to choose to do things because they're good at them. And then when I started thinking about engineering and I spoke to teachers about it, I did have a lot of teachers come back and imply that they didn't feel that it would be suited for me because I was female, obviously. And so it was a little bit difficult from that point of view, but I decided just to go for it anyway. And one of the big driving things for me to want to do engineering was because it seems like a really exciting subject. When I was reading about the different courses that you can take, it all sounded really interesting. But the other thing is you can use an engineering degree to go on and become a lawyer, or to convert that into doing other subjects. You can even convert it into medicine if you want to. So it's such an interesting degree because it's very technical. There's a lot of maths and there's a lot of science in it, but it's also a huge amount of problem solving. And so when applying for jobs afterwards, people absolutely love seeing people with engineering degrees, even if they don't end up becoming an engineer. But I found the biggest thing was to try and just look at things almost one step at a time. So I chose my A levels and they were the subjects that I thought I'd be good at. And then the key was just to make sure I did well in them, and then to apply for my degree. And then when you start your degree, it's such a scary, daunting thing. And the key for me for that was just to make sure, kind of take it a year at a time. So get through that year and get through each semester and get through those exams and the coursework, and then you have a nice break, or you can go and do, I mean, I did work experience in the middle of it in a similar way to what Amber's done. And you kind of just take each step one bit at a time. And then obviously it's important to have a picture of where you want to go from then, but so that you don't get too overwhelmed trying to
breaking it down.
Yeah.
Because it can look a bit like a sort of insurmountable wall to climb, can't it? Like, find a career, commit to it for 40 years or whatever. It's quite a scary thought when you're sitting at school. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do it. But I think I like that advice of breaking it down 1 year at a time, do your best at every moment so that it'll open all the doors it needs to when the time is right.